What we knew is gone. Our home, our lives, all that we were, dust. Blasted across empty, heartless skies. But we live. Our legacy lives. Within every ship we fly, upon every world we touch. In our hearts, in yours. There will be challenge. You will know fear. But you will overcome. You will survive. And answer vengeance with blood. You will do as you must. Rule cannot be handed to the faithless. Our legacy cannot be lost to villains. Bury the past to face the future. In enemies, find allies. There is no price we have not paid, no loss we have not felt. Our dead world, our long suffering, these are not ends. We are not ended. For your crew, for your people, for this new home, we must face all doubt. We must break the strong who would destroy us and overcome the impossible. We must fight against any and all. We must, we will, for we are Romulan!
This is the point we have pinpointed in your timeline, sir. This is when you go back and give yourself this. You will know what to say. You've already heard yourself say it. Even if it is not exactly right, the time stream will work it out. Just make sure that you give yourself this. It is our best hope for the future of the galaxy. You will return to this exact point in time as soon as you have done what you need to do. The galaxy still needs you, Admiral. Ready? The Suliban have a great deal of information provided to them during the Temporal Cold War, but not much on the Iconians. By the 28th century, the Iconians have mostly disappeared from history. I wonder where they went.
As you recruit more bridge officers.
Zeden is to the northwest, near a force field. If Planetary can...
The alloys used in this device are normally only in the Delta Quadrant. We know the Iconians have gateways that allow them to travel anywhere they wish. It would be reasonable to assume they have had influence in the Delta Quadrant as well.
So good to see you again, my friend. It's time for us to...
No one will get hurt.
Use the B key to toggle between shooter mode and RPG mode.
There are multiple references to the Iconians in these Tal Shar files. Akiv, in particular, seems to have a great interest in them. There are also references to Taris, who was praetor before Sela came to power. Taris has been missing since the overthrow, but she is not in some Tal Shar prison. They are still looking for her.
Warning. Intruders present in Gasko Station. All personnel, please seek shelter.
You're with the Tans group, right?
Romulans seemed interested in those rocks back there. Should we check it out?
This is old. Really old. I will need to have it analyzed to be sure, but this might be from when the Iconians ruled this space more than 200,000 years ago. We need to study this planet much more carefully. Who knows what else from the Iconians we might find?
Watch out! More Tholians inbound.
Kittimer. This place has some bad blood. Back in 2346,
You can start by speaking with some of the delegates from the Klingon Empire and the Federation. Just because an initial proposal has been presented does not mean the conference is over. Far from it. Any information you can get me about what they're thinking will help when it comes time to present our case.
the Hall of Heroes. They're probably Klingon heroes who killed Romulans.
I understand their stance, but still, there are issues. The would-be Romulans. Ah, one of Detan's followers. Greetings. I am Ambassador Satas, representative for the machinations. The rumors are true. The Iconians have returned. You do have a point. The fact that you've survived this long against the Talshar...
Before we get to the window dressing, of course, you know where we must begin. Why, with the foundations. You knew that, of course. Archaeology has never been my focus, but let's see. I believe the Enterprise D helped discover the location of Iconia back in the mid-23rd century. Until then, we didn't even know if the Iconians were real. They could have just been an ancient myth. Their history is quite dramatic, isn't it? Phenomenal power brought low by a mighty coalition of other species, joining together to defeat a common foe. The destruction of the Iconians may very well have been the first war of this type. And well, look at us now, uniting with former enemies to defeat the Tal Shiar. This is a very interesting time in our history.
This might be just what we need to access the Iconian Gateway Network. Until we are able to stop the Iconians and their heralds from appearing wherever they want, there is no place in this galaxy that will be safe from them. This is interesting. There have been recent Talshar patrols in the Hobus system, and they've been confronted by Reman ships. But these Remans weren't aligned with Obasek or the Remans working with the Republic. They served someone else. Hobus was ground zero for the supernova that destroyed the homeworld. If there are Remans there, they might know something about what happened.
There isn't any data on prisoners here. It's just cargo and soldiers. I don't understand why Charva would send us here. Was she trying to get us killed?
I know this is dangerous for you, but thank you for all you are doing for the Republic, and for the future. This virus will lie dormant until the Tal Shiar try to access their most secure files. Then it will run a search for any data about the Iconians, and send that data back to us in an encrypted microburst. If everything works, the Tal Shiar will never know what happened.
Lieutenant Jane Frederick, Starfleet ID number 24601.
The device that started the Hobus supernova was Iconian? Akiv and Taurus knew. They knew, and they still followed the Iconian orders. And millions died. Our world died. The Iconian threat isn't coming. It's already here. They were responsible for all the loss and pain we've suffered for more than 20 years. And the Tal Shiar are their puppets.
We should check to see if the emergency beacon survived the crash. But, in the likely event it didn't, we might be able to piece together some components to create a makeshift emergency beacon.
I don't know why Slamek had this on his ship. The materials aren't of Romulan or Riemann design. But there are traces of protomatter and decalithium, and those are materials used to create the Hobus supernova. Be careful. You don't know who you can trust anymore.
None of this matters. We just need to open the gate, bring the Iconians here, and it will be over.
That was Taurus's plan, too. And you saw how that ended for her.
Akiv was trying to use that gateway to escape. It was set for a location in the Delta Quadrant, but our sensors haven't shown anything in that area but empty space. Obviously, there is something there. I'll make sure we send a ship to check it out.
Greetings. I am Gul Kardec. This orb is the property of the Cardassian government.
Who knows who brought this device to Empok Nor? It could have been the New Link. But it could have been the Obsidian Order, back when Empok Nor was a busy Cardassian space station. It could have even been the Iconians themselves. The fortunate thing is that it's in our hands now. One more piece of the puzzle found.
seems the True Way has more than just Ketracel white processing going on here. Then again, perhaps they don't know what they've found. True Way raiders have been collecting tech and salvage from across the sector. The typical True Way soldier might not recognize Iconian technology on sight. The good thing is that it's in our hands now. One more piece of the puzzle found.
New Romulus. The tectonic activity is getting worse. We must find a way to stop it. I know this planet.
Good work. Reactivate the shields and we can complete our mission. need to traverse this cavern without the Vaadwaur seeing you and raising the alarm. To do so, you will need to use your grapple gun, as well as take advantage. You will need to reach the support platform. Shoot a grapple across and then zipline down. Sneak up behind that guy to that outcropping.
You're too late. I'm getting back to Voyager, no matter what. I told you to stay away! Why won't you listen? I'm going to find Voyager, and I won't let you stop me. I can arm this ship. Don't make me do it. I don't want to hurt you.
At least they haven't started taking the ship apart yet.
The Tholians have an extreme interest in Iconian technology, and they have targeted New Romulus as a key site for excavations. I will alert our commanders. They will need to be ready when the Tholians land.
We need to work together. What do you want me to do?
I am here to assist. What do you require?
We don't have much time.
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you, sir. The Temporal Defense Department has determined that now is the point where you travel back to speak to yourself. I've been authorized to oversee the process. Are you prepared? This is the point we have pinpointed in your timeline, sir. This is when you go back and give yourself this. You will know what to say. You've already heard yourself say it. Even if it is not exactly right, the time stream will work it out. Just make sure that you give yourself this. It is our best hope for the future of the galaxy. You will return to this exact point in time as soon as you have done what you need to do. The galaxy still needs you, Admiral. Ready? Looks like you made it back in one piece. We generally abhor predestination paradoxes like this, but this one was worth the risk. So we'll make an exception. This time.